Push-ups are one of the most basic bodyweight exercises, and anyone interested in calisthenics should put time into mastering them. However, they're also quite simple, and after some time you may get bored doing them, or you may just need some challenge. So in this video, I'm gonna show you 5 ways to make push-ups more fun and challenging. Calisthenics is just like the art of Picasso. First, you need to learn how to do things perfectly, symmetrical and precisely. However, after you master the basics, you can get crazy, experiment a lot and be creative. Rules are there to break them, but this has to be done consciously. Don't quote me on that in front of a police officer though. The first way is to decrease stability of the support. It can be achieved in several ways. Doing push-ups on your fists not only increases the possible range of motion, but also decreases the overall stability of your shoulders and arms. In this case, wrist is an additional place that allows for movement, which isn't there if you put your hands flat on the ground. So you need to put additional effort into stabilizing it, otherwise something like this might happen. I would advise to start with softer surface than concrete, because your knuckles need to get used to the pressure. Push-ups on some kind of balls is another good way of decreasing stability, but I would imagine that not many people have an easy access to 2 basketballs. I certainly don't. So this is a low-budget alternative. All you need is 4 bottles of water. They need to be filled with water as much as possible, because this way they will get squeezed the least. You can put one on top of the other, rotated by 90 degrees. This way, keeping them stable during the push-up is quite challenging and also allows you to go deeper with your chest, thus increase the range of motion. If you have a rope or strap of some kind, you can try to find a place to attach it slightly above the ground, like this. Putting your hands on the strap will result in much less stable support. In this case, your hands are free to move only forwards and backwards, but this is enough to create a situation in which you need to be very careful not to plant your face on the ground. Next, we move on to regular ring push-ups. If you hang them just slightly above the ground, the lack of stability makes the push-up more difficult, because you have to worry not only about pushing your body up, but also about holding your hands in one place. And if you haven't tried these push-ups, believe me, they want to go in every direction all the time. The freedom to move is also the reason why those push-ups feel so natural, because you can slightly rotate, skew, or move your wrists during the movement just as your body wants. Similarly to most of the previous variations, elevating your hands slightly above the ground makes it possible for your chest to go lower than your hands, so you're not limited as much with the range of motion. All the push-ups I showed you to this point are fun and challenging, but they are nothing compared to this variation. Just grab the rings this way and try to do push-ups while holding them stable. It's super difficult. Even staying in plank position feels like you're about to break your wrists. To make it as safe as possible, you need to squeeze the rings as hard as you can to stabilize them. That makes this push-up a good exercise for your chest, but even more great for strengthening your wrists. Again, I would recommend to start practicing on soft surface like dirt or grass, as this will make the rings more stable and the exercise less dangerous if you lose control. The next way to alternate your push-up experience would be to use super or full range of motion, depends how you look at it. I think we can all agree that this is not full range of motion push-up. But is it really a full ROM if you touch the ground with your chest? In this case, yes, but all it takes to make it fuller is elevating your hands and allowing your chest to go lower, like in some push-ups that I showed you earlier. So for the sake of this video, I'm gonna call this category Super ROM push-ups. For this exercise, you're gonna need to use some boxes or blocks that allow you to go much lower than your hands. Letting your chest drop as much as your flexibility allows it is one way of doing this push-up. Just go as low as you can and then go back up, just like you would in a regular push-up. However, if you turn your wrists outside a little, you can go even lower by using your biceps. This variation is pretty difficult and also stretches your chest quite a lot, so you actually work on both strength and mobility. In theory, you can extend your elbows at the bottom and that would be the real full ROM, but this is extremely difficult to do. The alternative to using blocks is making a use of rings. Ah yeah, this is why I love rings. I would put a ring on rings if I could. Anyway, you need to hang them a bit above the ground and use some kind of elevation for your feet. Ideally, they should be on the same level as the bottom part of rings. When your chest is on that level during the push-up, you just need to rotate the wrists outwards and go below the rings using mostly your biceps. Also be sure to hold false grip when you're in that phase, because otherwise you can't go back up. Again, it is possible to extend your elbows fully, but it's very difficult to do so. Moving on to the third way of modifying the push-ups. Forget about symmetry. In regular push-ups, you should aim to make your arms work evenly, with everyone pushing half of the weight. However, if you purposefully put more weight on one hand, then things can get interesting. My first proposition is doing uneven push-ups where you put your hands on different levels. This way you load the lower hand more and also skew your body a bit so your muscles work in a slightly different way. You should experiment with various height differences because every couple of centimeters changes the mechanics of the move significantly. Also, remember to train both sides uniformly so you don't develop any inequalities. That's gonna be true for all unsymmetrical exercises. Uneven can mean different heights, but also different hand positions. In this variation, you put one of your hands up and the other one down. This makes every arm work in a completely different way and forces you to use muscles that wouldn't be used in a regular push-up. Another variation following this theme is archer push-up. Ideally, while one arm is bent, the other one should stay completely straight. However, if you struggle with keeping the elbow extended, bending it slightly can be used as a progression exercise. One way of doing this push-up is to have both hands on the ground, but you can also put the straight arm on some kind of elevation. For me it feels more natural, but feel free to use both and have fun with it. And lastly, one-arm push-ups. I'm not a huge fan of this exercise, but this may be because I don't feel particularly strong in it. I know that a lot of people set this variation as one of their training goals, so I decided to include it here as well. Archer push-up is a great way to build the strength for one-arm version, so this is what I would recommend for anyone struggling to make this push-up happen. The fourth way I came up with is adding explosiveness. Regular push-ups should be done slowly and precisely, but as I mentioned in the beginning, rules can and should be broken. Exploding with power in concentric phase of the push-up will make you gain speed and bring your upper body over the ground. The simplest variation of this is regular explosive push-up that requires you to bring palms of your hands above the ground while keeping the arms extended. After each rep you have to land on your wrists, so be sure to gently cushion the impact to avoid any injuries. I would also recommend to have your wrists well warmed up before attempting any dynamic push-ups. After you're able to get some airtime, you can do different things with your hands. My favorite variation is clapping push-ups, where you need to clap after each rep. That requires you to gain significant height with each rep, otherwise you will faceplant. The advice on not trying it on concrete for the first time is true here as well. However, if you do try it, be sure to record your attempt and put it on the internet. There's never too many faceplant videos. Instead of coming down where you started, you can use that power to jump on some objects with your hands. Trying to jump on higher and higher boxes as you get stronger is a fun way of practicing your explosiveness. Getting to move your body is more difficult than stopping it in that case. However, if you have enough speed, it can be just as challenging. Falling down and slowing down with your chest is another fun way of doing push-up-like exercise. Wrists are taking a significant hit after each rep, so be sure to build up to this gradually to be sure that you're ready to take that impact with no risk. I'm not dropping all the way to the floor here because I don't feel safe doing that, so please do the same. It's better to be a chicken than a hero with a broken wrist and cracked teeth. My initial idea for this video was to present you with 5 methods, but I just couldn't come up with a 5th one at the moment of recording it. Then I considered naming the video 4 ways to make push-ups more fun and challenging, but we as humans just like 5s and 10s more than 4s and 9s, so there you go. However, now that I think about it, I would suggest combining methods 1, 2, 3 and 4 as a 5th method. Try doing archer push-ups on rings or uneven clapping push-ups. Be creative and be tempted to experiment. This would be my #1 advice, not to get bored with calisthenics. Hope you liked the video, be sure to leave a thumb up and I'll see you soon.